You only get what you think you deserve. Let's talk about what self-worth is, because it can be quite confusing, right? You know about self-esteem and you hear about self-worth, and both of them can kind of blend into the same thing and you could forget which one is which. Most definitions would tell you that self-esteem is dependent on external factors and self-worth is your internal, how you feel about yourself, how you see yourself. And I would like to define it as this. Self-worth is what you think you deserve. Self-worth is how much you value yourself internally. Without self-worth, you won't be able to attract the goals that you want, get the success that you imagine, make the friends that you want to have. You hate that you don't have self-worth because it affects how much you get. There's no perfectly morally righteous reason why we would want self-worth, but we just know it's important and we want to feel better and we want to feel more confident, and we believe that self-worth is the issue. I think that self-worth is the respect you believe you deserve based on how you consistently act and whether it is aligned with your values. So if you're somebody who betrays yourself a lot, breaks a lot of promises with yourself, like for example, you tell yourself you're going to sleep at this time but you end up sleeping at that time, you say you're going to sleep at 10 p.m. but you sleep at 2 a.m., then your self-worth will depreciate from there. Whether you're lying to yourself, you're breaking promises to yourself, you're betraying yourself, your brain subconsciously takes note of all that you're doing, and it will directly affect your self-worth. And changing your self-worth is a long process. It's a sense of identity. I believe that your self-worth is determined by how closely you live in accordance to your desired identity. And the reason you feel terrible is because feelings follow evidence. Let's take a look at how you've been living your life. You sleep at disorganized times, you have a terrible diet, you indulge in junk food all the time, you snack multiple times a day, you don't stick to whole foods, you don't even care about it really. You just eat wherever your social group brings you to eat, and you just put whatever that's in front of you into your mouth, including a penis. Maybe. I don't know if you swing that way. But we can 100% build self-worth. Growing up, I spent close to 8 hours a day sitting at McDonald's playing Critical Ops with this one friend. I would go to school, come back home, sit down in front of my computer, play CSGO, play Valorant sometimes. Fuck Valorant, by the way. Absolute shit game. Sometimes I'll play a shit ton of Roblox until 5 a.m. And it wasn't even like a occasional thing. This is how I spent every single day for 2-3 years straight. More than that probably. That was what life was about. We had no ambition. We didn't even spend a second to consider those things. Who gives a shit when all we could look forward to is ranking up in CSGO, making more money in Roblox Driving Simulator. Those are the things we could think about. We want to build our pagoda in Minecraft. And since we lacked goals, since we lacked an ideal self that we were trying to strive towards, we just follow whatever made us happy, whatever stimulated our brains, whatever was fun and exciting and helped us spend time with the people we like. So we're just guided by emotion, right? And what happens when we live such an unguided, undisciplined life is that we intrinsically and subconsciously know that we don't deserve certain things. At that period of time, if I liked a girl, do you think I thought in my mind that I deserved her if this was how I spend my time? Absolutely not. Even though I liked her, even though I would dream all the fantasies, all the wonderful wet dreams and fantasies I was having of girls that were in school, online, in anime. You think that I subconsciously felt like I deserved that? Hell no. Because I had nothing going for myself. My parents compared me to other people amongst my family who were doing way better than me academically. I was doing terrible in academics. I couldn't compose my sentences well. I spoke with a lot of Singlish and I felt incredibly inadequate and insufficient, and I was always seeking approval and validation. Do you think I deserved the things that I wanted? Do you think I thought that I deserved the things that I wanted? Hell no. And even though I would pray for it, wish for the wonderful events to fall into my lap every single day, it would never come because I genuinely did not believe I deserved it. And it would be a miracle if it did. And that's why I had to hope for it instead of willingly go for it. Self-worth is what gets you what you want in life. Do you ever wonder why the ugly, loud bastard of a guy can get the pretty girl that you want? Why the asshole, annoying, obnoxious motherfucker can attract the girl that you're interested in? It is because they believed that they deserved it more than you did. And they were willing to put themselves out there to show that they're interested because they felt like they deserved it. And they were able to do it with confidence because they felt like they deserved it. You, on the other hand, you would shake in front of the girl that you're interested in. You wouldn't make a single move. You would pretend like you're friends when you're speaking to her. You would speak to other people even though she's right in front of you to avoid speaking to her. Just because you feel like you are not good enough, you're going to risk rejection. And if you did shoot your shot, it would be a waste of your time. It would reflect that you are desperate and pathetic because of how you see yourself. And the same with everything else. Your success, your friendship circles, how willing you are to have uncomfortable conversations in the relationships you care about, how willing you are to invest into certain things, how willing you are to invest in yourself. You don't believe you deserve that level of confidence. You don't believe you deserve that level of competence. You don't believe you deserve those opportunities. And the way we fix that is to change how you live your life on a consistent basis, to change your habits and what you do with your time to align with your goals, to align with that identity of yourself that is desirable, that you believe deserves those things that you want. Since you're too intelligent to delude yourself into becoming this confident, arrogant, sexy man overnight, you have to take those steps to prove to yourself, to build evidence over time that you are indeed at least have the potential and moving in the direction of becoming that identity where you would respect. And if you think about it this way, it is absolutely possible for you to change. It is absolutely possible for you to improve your self-worth, get the things you want, go after the things you care about. Basically, what you want to do is orient your life, your habits, how you spend your time in a way where it's unreasonable for you to not get the things you want. And how will you do that, right? For example, you want to get fit and strong and have a six-pack and have a lot of muscle. How will you make it unreasonable that you deserve that? You will orient your life in every single way. You will change your habits one by one. Right now, maybe you believe you don't deserve that good of a physique, or you don't deserve to be good looking, because that's just not your identity right now. That change feels uncomfortable, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to sabotage yourself a bit, and that's why it's hard for you to go from 0 to 100%. You can't turn from the undisciplined trash can overnight to completely disciplined, sleep on time, eat perfect food, train perfectly, drink enough water, all that. You almost don't believe you deserve to be the identity. So, but what you can do is you can turn yourself from 0 to 5%. From 5% to 6%, 7%, 9%. 12, 15, 20. Over time, you let yourself, you be a bit patient with yourself, you take your time, and you build that shit up. And when you are at 0% and you're putting in 5%, you're going to eventually build an identity for yourself. You're eventually going to start seeing yourself as deserving of a little bit more things. The people you're surrounding yourself with will eventually be 5% better. And because of that, you're going to somewhat feel like you deserve to be that 6%. And as you put that 6% level of effort, and then the people that surrounds you gets to that 6% level, they're going to be like, oh, maybe I can get to 10%. And then you put in even more effort, you put in 10%. You get to 10% of your ideal identity. And 10% of your maximum effort of how you're going to reorient your life. And after that, you're going to believe you deserve 20%. And you can see how as you become more, you feel like you deserve more, and then you actually get more. And as you get more, you believe you deserve even more. And then you put in even more effort, and guess what? You're building your self-worth brick by brick from there. And there are so many ways to build your self-worth. Besides just changing your habits, the great ones, sleeping well, eating well, putting your time into things you find to be important, learning a new skill, building up your physique, your fitness, the ability to speak, all these things. Besides that, providing value for other people is also absolutely phenomenal. I know a lot of people would define self-worth as something that's internal and not affected by external circumstances, but I would kind of like to disagree, because we aren't delusional. we don't want to be narcissistic. We actively resist that, right? Even though we all kind of are. And we have imposter syndrome, things like that. That's why sometimes for a thought to materialize, for a belief of ourselves to become true, we need other people to verify that for us, because we don't want to be delusional. So the people you surround yourself with, the things they are telling you, the appreciation they are giving you is so important. I'm able to have so much more self-worth than I had in the past. A lot of it is attributed to the people I'm surrounded with. Of course, I had to spend a lot of time to dig myself out of the gutter. I lost a lot of friends along the way. But nowadays, I'm so grateful because the people around me are telling me more than I deserve, genuinely letting me know that I'm making an impact. And I value what they say, and I take more truth in what they say than my own brain, because I've surrounded myself with honest people, because I'm an honest person myself. And I'm always afraid to delude myself, and hearing them let me know that I'm making an impact. Having these honest friends say this to me genuinely lets me feel better and more certain about myself, and feel like I deserve more. Wow. These honest friends also keep me in check and make sure I'm not arrogant. And to find a circle like that, it is going to take a lot of time. But as you become more and more closer to your ideal identity, you're going to realize that the people around you changes because you're able to become more and more honest. And honest isn't just what you say and how you express yourself, it's also what you go for. If you honestly want to make that friend, even though this is not what the definition of honesty means, if you genuinely want to make friends with that person, go for it. Try it and fail. There is a sense of honesty in of itself, even though it doesn't fit the definition, but you get what I mean. And we're not looking for perfection here. As we mentioned earlier, you're never going to get to go from 0% to 100%. Maybe you could for 30 minutes, and you crash and burn. So let's get you to the 5%. Let's get you to the 10% and think about the 20, the 50, the 80, and the 100 as we go along, right? Let's build up your self-worth, progressively overload it. Let's change one thing at a time. Just one thing at a time. Imagine if you change one thing each day. You'll be where you want to be in no time, alright? And it has to take time. You have to be patient with yourself. Keep pushing. We're not looking for perfection here. We're looking for consistency. As long as you don't quit, as long as you keep trying to add new things, as long as, even if you fall off a day or completely fuck up a day, you sleep at 5 a.m. playing Roblox, it's fine. Because you're going to spend the next 6 days of that week with good habits, good intention, living your life willingly and intentionally, going after the things that you want. And you're going to stand for what you believe in, even if it means standing alone. Build evidence that you deserve things. Build a better social circle. And over time, you're going to be a complete different person. And you're going to look back and go, what the fuck? That was beautiful. So if you've already started your journey on self-analysis, taking life intentionally, trying to be better every single day, investing yourself into certain things, helping yourself get out of bad habits and establishing new good ones, keep going, right? Your life is waiting for you. This is going to be beautiful. You have so much waiting for you. It's absolutely ridiculous. And if you're somebody who hasn't started, it is time. Today we're going to start. I think an absolute fundamental, beautiful thing you can do is to journal. Journaling helps you analyze yourself, the conversations you've had. Perhaps you're incredibly socially anxious. Just pulling out a journal, re-evaluating your conversations there instead of in your own head and having to overthink all over the place. You write it down deliberately so you can see the whole picture in front of you on a physical thing and genuinely reflect without any habitual thoughts, because you can look at it as kind of a third person's point of view. And a journal will listen without judging. A journal will be patient. It would sit there and listen to you for however the fuck long you want it to. Journaling is fundamental. It is practically essential if you want to improve yourself. Get your book out, get a piece of paper out, just write. whatever you are thinking, whatever thoughts you are having, and let yourself really sit there and observe those thoughts from a third person point of view, because that's what practicing mindfulness is, and that will help you so much. So tonight, if you're somebody who hasn't started, the first thing I want you to do, get from that 0% to 1%, is to get that journal out and stick to it as often as you can every single day. That's the first step I want you to do. Think about what you want to do with your life, what you want to do with your time. Think about reducing your screen time. And because of reducing your screen time, you're going to have a shit ton of excess time. What do you want to do with that time? Write down what you want to do with that time and try your best to stick to it. That's how you get from 0 to 5%. What do you want to be in 6 months? You want to be fit? You want to be jacked? Write that down. I'm going to spend my time getting fit and jacked. If you want to learn how to box, write that down. If you want to learn how to play piano, write that down. I want to be able to articulate my words better, write that down. Find out what you want to do with your time, stick to it. Find out what habits you want to change, try your best to stick to it. Go from 0 to 5%. Do your best to get to the 5%. Think about how you're going to get to the 100% after you get to the 5%. So yeah, take action. And if you've already started taking action, keep going. There's so much waiting for you. You know, this is going to be absolutely phenomenal. Imagine where you'll be in 2 years. Imagine if you sat down with a journal thinking about what you wanted to improve every single day for 2 years, and you took genuine action and you genuinely invested yourself and all your time into trying to get better. Even if you fail a shit ton of days, you fail 100 days out of 300 days, you're still going to make immaculate progress, right? So let's get to work, let's take action. You got this. I love you. It's a better. That was kind of drunk. I love you, good luck. It's a better. Okay, bye bye.